is a view of the light, a fire burning through the night. We rise, we shine, we take the fight.
Well, that was fun.
Wasn't that beautiful? Hello, one and all, and welcome to the second to the last episode of Spirit Sessions. And we are still delivering fun adventure for y'all. I'd like to introduce my co-host, Rhonda Elliott, over there from Cerulean Forest Reiki, my Reiki teacher and best friend for all these years. And we are having somebody on who Rhonda has experience with. And I want to tell you, it's really neat to have a guest on that you could vouch for because you get experience with them. Rhonda, will you tell us what this is all about? Who is this guy, Brahma? What are we going to learn today?
That's fun.
Well, it's a long story, but my chiropractor, Kelly Nietzsche, was going to these classes, and she was always going over to Spain to take these meditation classes, she says. So she came back this year and she was a full teacher and she was having a class at her place. And I thought, well, I've noticed the difference in Kelly from the last 10 years. So I thought, I got to find out what she's having. So it's Ishayas Ascension. This is Brahma. Every time I go to say it, I say it wrong, Brahma. So please introduce yourself and let us know what this wonderful ascending is all about.
Sure. Thank you, Rhonda. And thank you, Teresa. Yeah, I'm Brahma Ishaya. Ishaya is a Sanskrit word for higher consciousness, for higher consciousness. And all of the Ishaya teachers, our last name was Ishaya because we are all for higher consciousness. And what this teaching is about, let me tell you a bit more about myself first. So I've been, let's say, I learned this a teaching practice in 2001. Before that, I was an absolute mess. I was depressed. I was suicidal. I had I'd been in therapy already for 10 years, same therapist. And then I was actually introduced to this teaching by a friend of my sister's. She gave me a cassette tape with this introduction talk on it about the Ishayas. I said, whoa, right away, I knew that's what I wanted. That was on a Sunday. The following Friday, the course was being offered, and I took that course. It changed my life immediately. And for 2 years, it was just amazing, all of my experiences of it. And then the calling came. I was a classroom teacher, and I loved teaching, still do, but I love teaching children as well. I was to the point where I needed to do more, so I quit the teaching job to do this full time. And it's just, again, that was in 2024 that I became a teacher, and I've been doing this ever since. And my experiences keep changing. It's like with this teaching of Ascension, what it does, it uses mechanical techniques based on praise, gratitude, love, and compassion. I say mechanical because everyone who learns this teaching, they help create their own. We call them attitudes. They help create their own attitude with this teaching. We offer them some of the words, and then they give their own word, and that one word is based on their own nervous system. Because what this teaching does, with eyes closed, is it actually helps dissolve the false beliefs in your nervous system. Because we've acquired false beliefs our whole lives. Nobody's fault, by the way. It's through everything. What we heard from our parents, our relatives, our friends, from the media, and everything we've ever experienced is stored in our nervous system in case we need it. Well, guess what? A lot of it we don't need. So what this teaching does, by the way, is allow, when you use these techniques we teach, it actually goes straight to your center, to your natural self within, which everybody is. I'm pointing to my heart. You can't see it though. But it's all, everybody has the same essence within them. But we've forgotten. It's like a newborn baby is still there. It still only knows that it's that natural self. It's that pure energy. It's the essence. It's the creator. It's all of that. They don't have a mind that goes past their future yet. But then, of course, they grow up and they get older and everything happens. Life happens. And then they start to forget. I got a quick story about that. This young man, this little boy, I think he was 3 years old, and he had a new sibling being born into the household. The parents had a monitor in the room where the baby was in the crib, and the little boy crept over to the crib one time and whispered to the little baby, "Please help me to keep remembering." And I thought, wow, that's a true story.
Oh my goodness.
Precious. How precious is that? So
Wow.
the way everybody is nobody's fault. It's just that we've forgotten. And what this teaching does is help us to remember by letting go of all the experiences in our nervous system that we don't need anymore. They just dissolve. It's like when I first learned to ascend, it's like I couldn't believe what was that? This doesn't bother me anymore. How come that doesn't bother me anymore? How come I'm so happy? I felt like Scrooge in that movie. But I do knew I deserved it. You didn't think you did. I do. I did. And so it's like, because of those experiences, I knew if I can experience this after my past, everybody can. That's why I chose to become a teacher to teach this. Because everybody needs to have the experience of joy all the time, of peace all the time. And the other part I love it, there's no fear. There's no worries, because all of that comes from the mind. It's either past or future where fear and worry comes from. And so this teaching is just like, it's a life changer.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, you brought out something really interesting about in the past you had been in a place where you were depressed and feeling awful, and still from that space you came to this space now. And I wondered, well, how was it you were able to get there? Did this stuff dissolve the things that created the depression, or did it give you like a new platform to deal with the depression from? Do you know
Great
what I mean?
question. Now, no, it actually dissolved it. It dissolved all the false beliefs and reasons that I was depressed.
Oh, awesome.
I did part of my story I didn't tell, so I'll tell you a little bit more. When I was 4 years old, my mother left us, my sister and my father and I. She was an alcoholic, and bless her heart, she didn't want to be around us when she was drunk, because she was not a nice person when she was drunk. So she left. But she would come in and out of our lives. She'd come back when she was sober for a while, then she'd leave again. But as a child, I thought it was my fault. So I thought I was not lovable or loved, and I must have done something wrong. Must be something wrong with me. So that was the first false belief, because before that, I didn't have those beliefs. But that was the first false belief. And the mind grabs that and says, okay, we'll give you more of that because that's what you appear to want. And so the nervous system would attract more of that into my life. And of course, and I was born in 1948. So in the 50s, being black in Canada still wasn't a great thing to be. So there was racism where I lived. And I lived in Chatham, Ontario. And I had to deal with racism, not only from different people and children, but also from teachers.
Oh,
So
man.
all that reinforced the false idea that there's something wrong with me and I'm not loved or lovable. So because of that idea, that's why I became depressed and also angry, and that's why I turned to alcohol and smoking and I played rough hockey. I played hockey because that's where I get my anger out there. You see, I can hit guys legally. That's funny. But with this teaching, those false beliefs, they just dissolved.
Wow.
By the way, my relationship with my mother, who died early, she died at 52 because her body couldn't take all the alcohol anymore. I have nothing but love for her, and it's not even forgiveness. It's like, that was my journey, that was her journey. I just love her because of what she gave to me, and she gave to me this life. And she was a very passionate woman. You may notice that I'm kind of passionate myself. That's what she gave me, that gift. And
Right.
so, like, everything that happened before me, I have no regrets. No problem with any of it. It was all part of my journey, and I'm just grateful that I'm here now, and all of it led to me now. It's like collecting the dots of a lifetime right now. And so even this show is magic for me. To meet Rhonda at an intro talk, then have her come and take the course, it's all magic. And I get to talk about something I love so much. So it's like, yeah. And it's so simple. I like your questions. Thank you for that question. You have another one for me?
So, Brahma, tell us a little bit about the Bright Path, about
Oh, sure.
Ishayas. Tell us a little bit. I mean, I've heard people go, it's a cult. Well, it's not a cult. And they're afraid that it's a cult. But there's all sorts of different styles and
Yes.
all different sorts of paths to the one. It's all the one. But
That's right.
just maybe describe a little bit about the Ishayas and maybe their history, because that's fascinating.
neat.
That's
Oh,
very
sure. Yes, of course. Well, the Ishayas is an organization. And we have, well, my teacher is head of the organization. And he, and anybody who becomes a teacher, an Ishaya teacher, we take vows. And then he gives us our name according to what he sees as our essence and what's good for us for our growth and evolution. That's how I got the word name Brahma. My
Right.
given name is Richard. But so now I got a quick story about that. I'm sorry, I'm diverting a bit here. So now whenever I feel something come up from the past, I say, oops, Richard just showed up. I come back to Brahma.
Oh, that's helpful. I love that.
So, but the organization is, it helps to keep things going. And we have rules for the teachers. And it's like, we have to be consistent with our practice, and we have to see our teacher at least once a year. And we have to be productive. We have to get out. We have to get out there. We're not cave monks, right? We're monks of the world. So we have to get out there and be who we are, so that people can see what's possible. So the organization is made up of teachers from South America, North America, and Europe. And now we're starting in Africa. And it's like teachers, anybody who learns this practice can become a teacher if they wish, but it's not an obligation. And the people who don't want to be teachers, that's great. They continue to ascend, and they come and they get supported full time for the rest of their lives by other teachers. See, what else can I say about the organization? Oh yeah, when did it start? Okay. Well, one of the ways I could say it's timeless, because but as far as I know, from what I've been told by the other Ishaya teachers and my teacher, is that Ishayas go back thousands of years. Have you heard the name? Well, you know about yoga.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The father, or not even say inventor of yoga, was a sage named Patanjali.
Yeah.
He was an Ishaya sage.
Oh, I got it.
He's 5,000 years ago. And there were some before him. And of course, some after him. And now how this organization happened now is that, well, Jesus, by the way, was also an Ishaya.
Okay.
And before he left the second time, he had John, one of the disciples, he told John, keep this practice sacred and pure, and keep it sacred and secret until the world is ready to have it again.
Okay.
And this was over 2,000 years ago now, right? And so the teacher of my teacher, whose name is MSI, or Maharishi Sadashiva Isham, he was a transcendental meditator.
Okay.
And he was getting these visions of the Ishayas. He had no idea what it was about. And he went to his teacher, whose name I can't remember at the time. He's a famous guy too, who brought in transcendental meditation. But anyway, he went to his teacher. He says, and his teacher's the Ishayas. That's your next step. You got to go find those Ishayas. And he said, but I'm with you. I'm here. I'm with transcendental meditation. He says, nope. This is going where it's going. You need to take it further. Find the Ishayas. And he did. He learned the Ishaya techniques. He became an Ishaya teacher. And he was an American. And he was from Seattle, Washington. Well, when he got the information he needed and he cleared his own nervous system, because you have to be clear to do this. And he started a practice in North Carolina. And what he did was he simply started giving intro talks that Rhonda came to, and he did it for 2 years to an empty room
Okay.
because he just knew it was going to happen when it happened. He's not in control because we're not in control. And finally, people started to come to hear him. And finally, he started having courses, first spheres, to teach people how to ascend, and then they could become teachers. And that's how it started. And that started in the 1990s.
Oh.
And then one of his students was very close to him and very clear. Clear-minded means very nervous system is pretty clear. It's like almost empty of false beliefs.
Wow, nice.
He became the next Ishaya teacher to teach teachers. And his name is Maharishi Krishnananda Ishaya. And he now lives in Spain. And that's where our headquarters is. And so we have over 300 teachers now with this particular Bright Path Ishayas tradition, and thousands and thousands of ascenders all over the world. And so that's pretty much how it is. But he also, he supports teachers. That's his main job right now, supporting teachers. And what his job is as a Maharishi is to help us to wake up, enlightened, completely enlightened, knowing that there's nothing else but now and the one. And that's what his job is. And every month he has webinars just for teachers, and we talk about it. And he teaches us more and more and gives us homework to practice and all that.
Oh, I love that.
And so we're constantly evolving too. And I've known him now since 2003, and I've seen his evolution too. It's interesting to see how this teaching is such an alive practice, because infinite is infinite. There's no end. There's no beginning. There's no end. And that's one of our symbols that we use is in the infinity symbol, because it just is only now. There's only one, only the one. Does that answer your question? I get talking sometimes and I forget, okay, where am I going with this? But yeah, that's an amazing explanation.
Yeah, I love that. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell us why. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was going to ask. You're in red, and I've only seen you in red. Why do you wear red? I know there's other colors. I mean, people will see that and go, cult. But no, I know you're in red, and I know some of the monks are in white and some of the monks are in black. But can you maybe just explain that to them so if they see people, they don't think it's cultic?
Yes, absolutely. I'll start with the white. White Ishayas. In fact, my wife is a white Ishaya. I was a white Ishaya to begin my practice. It's a 6-month course, by the way. 6-month course where in that 6 months, we clear our nervous systems with 12 hours or more of ascending every day or meditating every day to clear the nervous system. And then we take vows.
Did you say 12 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't do that now because I hadn't got time. But I did it then because that's all I was doing, right? And that's what we needed to do to teach. Clear ourselves so we could teach this pure teaching the way it's supposed to be taught.
Right.
Clearly, from within, not from the head. So I was a white Ishaya, and then because white represents purity, and it's considered to be the easiest path to start with. And then during my 6 months, I think it was in the 4th or 5th month, can't remember now, started seeing red everywhere. Red just seemed to jump out at me. A red rose is redder than red. This is amazing. It's more magic. I had my picture taken. I was dressed in white, and I was taken with a picture was taken with another white Ishaya beside me. And when it was developed, the whole left side of my body developed red.
Wow.
I showed this to my teacher, and I asked him, does it serve me to take red vows? And he said, yes. It's almost as if, what took you so long? But anyway, and so I became a red Ishaya. And red represents unconditional love and passion.
Oh, man.
That's a representation. And the white represents purity and joy. And the black Ishayas, they represent what's the word? Okay, destroyers of ignorance.
Oh,
Ignorance meaning ignoring your true self, letting your attention go elsewhere rather than within. And so the Black Ishayas help people to let go of what's going on inside them that doesn't serve and go inward instead. And that's called destroyers of ignorance.
ooh, I love that.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
that's the red, white, and black. And by the way, they're also represents the energies on the planet. White is like spring, new growth. And black is almost like the winter where it's letting go of things, and even the leaves fall from those kinds of trees, and the plants go dormant or they die and come back up later. So it's like letting go of the self that is no longer needed, the self that is not helpful anymore.
Right.
And the red, it's sort of the vibration that holds them both together. We are the passionate ones that keep things moving. All teachers can teach, white, red, or black, but the reds are supposed to be the ones that are the vibration ones who keep the whites and the blacks not in line, but keep them moving.
Oh, neat.
Energetically, not physically, of course, energetically. But that's the story about that. So that's why there's three colors.
That's an interesting premise. Now, is this old practice or is this a new practice with the colors? Like, has it always been that way with the IH?
Yes, Ishayas.
Ishayas. I'll get it right.
That's okay.
Ishayas. Yeah, now that I know.
I don't know. As far as this tradition, since it came back with MSI in the 1990s, it's always been red, white, and black. Before that, I don't know.
Right. So people can go on the website and look about it. And you have introductory talks all over the world, and they're free. Is there anything online as well that they can see? Like if they go to the website or anything?
Yes. We actually, I haven't gone to the website in a while. Yes, there's actually a movie there they can watch too, I believe. It's about the Ishayas, but it's about this teaching and how it has affected people before and after they learn to ascend. I mean, these are real people; they're not actors.
Right.
And these are people that are now Ishayas, but before they were Ishayas, it talks about them and what's happened after when they're interviewed, really. And it's a wonderful movie, about 90 minutes long. And I can't remember the name of it. It's funny. I have about 5 or 6 CDs of this movie up in my cabinet over there, but I can't remember the name of it. That's funny. So yes, and on the website, there's different places you can click on. You can click on courses or finding a teacher, finding all kinds of stuff. And it's a really good website. Just easy to navigate. Just go to the wbrightpath.com and it comes up and there's all kinds of things. Just click, and you get what you want.
And it's a methodology, so it makes it easier. Like you can sit and listen to a guided meditation, right? And you can be there or not, and it always kind of chills you out and relaxes you. But this is a little bit deeper, is what you would say, than that. It's a little bit more working on you than just like chilling you out, right?
Yes, the chill part is a nice benefit and it's sort of a I don't know. It's an extra thing, but it's really about clearing your nervous system so you have a clear experience of your true nature. And the other way, I haven't said something else yet. We do it with both eyes open and closed. So eyes closed dissolves the stress in the nervous system. I mean, it really is amazing to live stress free. It's pretty amazing. And the eyes open part of it, which you can use anytime, like I'm doing it right now, it prevents more stress from coming in and it keeps you in the present moment. So we can do it both ways. In fact, we need to do it both ways because it's all about having the mind remember its true nature. It isn't totally forgotten, but it needs a vehicle to come back. And so eyes open and eyes closed are constantly reminding the mind, yes, we belong here, not out there, so to speak. So I don't know how I got on that, but yes, well, it is deeper that way. So like I talk to many people, and I say, they hear my name Brahma. They want to know what that's about. So I give them a little talk about ascension. What can I say? And they say, oh, yeah, I go to my garden. I like walking in the forest, and that gives me lots of peace. I said, sure it does. But what this teaches, you don't have to go anywhere. You have a peace inside you all the time. You just forgot that it was there. And I love going to the forest. We go there. I went for a walk in the forest this morning. It just enhances my experience of the forest. But I don't need the forest to be at peace or to feel joy. It's just an enhancing already what I have, which is different. And all of us have it. It's just about remembering that we do.
It's like that. It's that God spark. It's getting back in touch with that God spark. Remembering, like you
Yes.
said, remembering that we
Yes.
are a part of the source, the God, the I am present, whatever you want to call it.
That's right.
And,
Yeah. Our name for it is ascendant. We use the word ascendant because it's a neutral word, because we're not a religion. And because we don't pray to an outside God. We don't pray at all. We just think these attitudes, and it goes within our true nature where God is. So I guess we could say that, but it's often sometimes because we have this term called perpetual consciousness, which means we're in touch with the present moment all the time. And that's also been called praying without ceasing.
Yeah.
But it's an inner prayer, not an outward prayer, sort of thing. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So then the question is, when there just are some people that have trouble meditating, okay, for whatever reason, for how they grew up or their brain, how they think. It's just a reality that some people just have a really hard time with it. So what is it about this beautiful technique that's so clearing for us that makes it approachable to those who have trouble?
Great question. Because it's based on gentleness and simplicity as well. And simplicity is we only give you 5 words, and one of them is yours that you choose. I can't tell you that because you have to be at a course to get it. Because we don't teach online. We only teach teacher to student. But in fact, if Rhonda would be willing to share anything, she has experienced it already. And tell us what you thought about it before you learned it, Rhonda.
I had no clue. I've always had a hard time meditating. Mainly just either I fall asleep or I just go off in my thoughts.
Mhm.
But the way you watch your thoughts like clouds, and then you come back to your words or your attitudes, and when you notice, so it's kind of brings you back in, and you can stay with it longer, I think. And time sort of, I don't know, it's really weird how it's always shorter than you thought. I mean, you've been there longer than you thought you've been. It's like time kind of evaporates, and the ego shuts up and quits trying to keep you from, distracting you or whatever it likes to do. Like I've had it like make my nose itchy and all sorts of things when the ego wants to take back over, all sorts of different things when ego wants to come.
And I love what you said. Even the nose itchy. It doesn't matter if you stop and scratch your nose. It can't because with these attitudes, nothing can stop it. Once you think the attitude, and by the way, we emphasize that thoughts are okay. This meditation practice does not try to still the mind; it just stills naturally. This practice does not say thoughts are bad; they're good, because when a thought comes up when they're using this practice, that means stress is leaving. So if you have a lot of thoughts with this closed-eyed practice, that means a lot of stress is leaving your system. And the more stress that leaves your system, the clearer experience you have of the source within. So
can you talk about thoughts to us? Because that was an interesting thought. Yeah.
Well, thoughts come in different ways. It's just really awarenesses. It's they have mental thoughts, like thinking is thoughts stuck together, a whole bunch of thoughts. Feelings are also considered a thought. Emotions are thoughts because they come up from the past. They've come up from your nervous system. Let's say a bird went flying by just now, and I noticed that. Oh, look at that! That's a thought. But so what?
Yeah.
I just come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm not in the present moment right now, then everything else is a thought. But thoughts are okay. I just come back. And with us, when this teaching, when you're closed-eyed ascending, you can watch the thoughts. And then if you start, and then they're not going to bother you because you're just watching it. You can't be something if you're watching it. So people have identified with these thoughts, which causes them suffering. But when you can watch the thoughts, then if you start thinking about any of the thoughts or something,
Starts giving them a story, right? You
That's
start
right.
giving them a story or
yeah,
following them.
then the ascension is stopped and the mind's gone outward. You just simply think the attitude again, and the mind comes back. And for this teaching, it's a back and forth, a gentle back and forth. It's like I didn't use this analogy on the course, but I've heard it before. I've used it another time. It's like dyeing a white towel red. Of course, red, of course. You use the dye. Let's say you're doing it the old-fashioned way. You dip it in the dye, and you're gearing it up. Oh, look, a little bit pink. You dip it in the dye. Oh, it's a little redder. You dip it in and out, and it becomes more and more red.
Yeah.
Well, with this teaching, it's like the more we ascend and keep coming back, the clearer our experience becomes. It just takes practice. And we call this a teaching practice. That's a meditation practice. And that's where the consistency comes in, which I was praising you about. Consistency. And then we give free we give free online ascension meetings only for people that have learned this practice. And we actually meditate together and we share and they ask questions. And I usually give them something to look at or talk about, which we're going to be doing with Rhonda's group on Tuesdays.
Tuesday, the next
Yeah.
6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we ascend 3 times, at least 3 times a day, hopefully for 20 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And it's usually easier. Well, I don't talk about falling asleep because that, you know, in the morning, like I want to ascend and I'm up and I'm ready. I could get up and go, but then I start ascending and then the next thing you know, you're in that hypnagogic state and you're asleep and then you're off into dreamland.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that because sleep is okay. What's happened here, and I fall asleep a lot. This morning when I was ascending before this show, I ascended this morning around 7 o'clock, yeah. And I got in about, I don't know, 2 or 3 attitudes, and all of a sudden I was asleep. So what? It doesn't matter. Because when the body gets so rested, it just wants to sleep. And that's okay. Because part of what happens is with this teaching, the mind, when the technique is chosen, an attitude is chosen, the mind immediately goes to its natural true center and it becomes still. When the mind stills, the body stills. When the body stills, it heals itself. And healing for the body is letting go of toxins or stress, which look like thoughts. So when the body becomes so still, it's so relaxed, it just decides to go. And it's okay. Sleep is okay.
And that's
So
like the monkey mind. Like they talk about the monkey mind, and it has like 120,000 thoughts every day, and 85% of those are negative thoughts, and 85% of those are repeating negative thoughts. So we're thinking the same one thought 100,000 times a day. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is crazy.
And we're repeating it to ourselves in different ways, but we're
Yeah. And that causes, and the mind is chaotic. It's chaos in the mind, really. And but this teaching, and we actually show this on the diagram when we teach the course. But when you think these attitudes, the mind becomes harmonious. So rather than this happening with the mind, teach these attitudes, and it becomes like this, which means that you got this is like maybe 10% potential. This is more like 100% potential. So the wisdom is not coming from here. It's coming because the mind has to be here for that to happen. It's coming from within.
Yeah.
So that's the difference in wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is the mind, which is important. I mean, I needed to know how to drive a car, for example, tie my shoes, whatever. That's knowledge, which is important. But the true wisdom is there to do things like say what comes from within. Our teacher recently used a really cool expression about how he wants us to be. Be an open doorway. Let the thoughts, everything you're going to say, just come through you, not from you. So the through is coming from the center within, and the wisdom comes through us. We would say from the ascendant, which is another word for God, really.
So we're channeling more or less.
Yeah.
Right straight
Yes.
from our
That's right.
core, our being.
So then I have another question then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hearing, it seems like that you have a regular practice about 3 times a day to remind yourself to tap in at least and stuff. And then, so I'm wondering, well, we're in trying times and stuff. Is the 3 times a day adequate for everybody who needs that? Or are you able to like, oh man, I needed a lot today and go in and do more practice? You know, what is it when there's crisis? How do you continue?
Well, you do have great questions. The 3 times a day, actually 2 or 3 times a day, is just a minimum.
Okay.
You can ascend as long as you want, whatever time allows. You know, my goal every day is 2 hours a day when I have the time. 90 minutes is my minimum. So 3 times a day, 30 minutes each time is my minimum. But already today I've ascended for 75 minutes. So I'll get more in today because I have the time. So we just do what we can. But I make sure I get at least 3 in a day. So it doesn't matter. As much as you want or as little as you want. As long as it's consistent.
That's closed eye. And then the open eye you can do while you're driving the car or.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, the encouragement for open eye is that whenever you remember, like right now, Rhonda. It's just easy. Just any of the attitudes that you learn, you get 4 in this first course. And you can, any one of them, you just think up in your mind with your eyes open, whenever you want, whenever you remember. And it keeps reminding the mind to come back inward and it keeps you in the present moment. Did I answer your question, Teresa?
Yes, I love that. Thank you.
And it's nice to ascend with a lot of different people. So that's why it's nice to have the Zoom meeting. Like doing yoga with yourself is different than going to a class and doing yoga, right? There's a whole different energy and there's a whole different energy. Just makes it easier. Like I call it the sensei effect. So if you have people that are more further along the path, like when you're doing any martial art or anything, you pick up some of their skills. Like all of a sudden it becomes easy. Like if you're working with them, like, I didn't know I could do that. Like, I was just borrowing it from my sensei. But yeah, when I was doing Kiaikido, like, how did I do that?
Yeah, exactly. But that's a very good point you make, Rhonda, because in our meetings after you've learned to ascend, even, the important part of the meeting is sharing your experiences. And people say, oh yeah, I had that too. Oh, I like that. And anyway, so we learn from each other all the time. So that's a very good example you just gave.
So before we go, I mean, can you tell us what's coming up around your area or around what's the next, or have you got anything what you'd like to share about where they can find you and all that?
Yes. First of all, we have another course like the one you took coming in September. We've already got a venue for that and already got people signed up for it. But we're also, Mitzi and I are looking at courses to happen even before that. We haven't got a date yet or even a place. So the brightpath.com is where you'll find everything. Just courses are there. And if you look, just put in my name and you'll find me there. I have even a little bio there and everything. And yeah, everything's on the Bright Path website, pretty much.
Okay, that's very cool.
And people, by the way, and I've had this happen, I've just met people who needed some help. They don't have to learn this teaching to call me up. I'm happy to listen to anybody who needs help.
Oh, that's nice.
That's just who we are. We take vows of service, and I just love it. I'm a service kind of guy.
Oh.
And so I wouldn't mind even putting my phone number up there and my email address if you wanted.
Okay, I don't know if the email address is on there, but what's your email address? I mean, you can say it, and
okay. It's Brahma, just like the spelling of my name, all lowercase. 1081
1081
@gmail.com.
gmail.com. So Brahma 1081 at gmail.com. Okay.
Yep.
It's all in the description as well.
Yeah, and also if you go on the Bright Path webpage, all the teachers are listed with their contact information as well.
Mhm.
So you can find Brahma, Nitya, and the sorts of people there. So
Yeah.
people in your area. We had a little problem with Facebook. I'm going to rebroadcast this on Facebook because it somehow disconnected, and I'll have to do it. It'll be a rebroadcast in a few minutes, but it's up on YouTube right now, and it'll be later on our podcast. And as we usually do, I have a card for you guys for
For the week
this
ahead.
week, and I will put it through here. It's
Oh.
it's inner child healing,
Oh yeah! Wow, that's cool.
which is just popped out. So this really helps. This method, of course, getting in touch with the ascendant, which is your God connection, source connection, as I call it, really helps with your inner child healing. In that once you realize who you are, anything traumas kind of melt away because they don't really matter, because that's really something that happened to you. It's not who you are.
Right.
So, and the other card that came up with it is with ease and grace. So this doesn't mean you have to go on the coal path, the hot coal path to heal yourself. It can be easy. It can be easy. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be as easy as just getting in touch with your true self again. And that's the card for this week. So, Teresa,
Beautiful, Rhonda. Thank you.
do you have any announcements?
Well, coming up next week, we are going to be pre-recording our special last episode. Our last episode, can you guys believe it, of Spirit Sessions after 9.5 years. So today, as we bring the second to the last episode to an end, we find ourselves reflecting with deep gratitude for the journey and for each soul who has shared this space with us. I mean, we have had so much fun on air, sometimes off air. It's been amazing. So from our hearts to yours, thank you for being a part of our Spirit Sessions family. Every conversation, every moment of connection, and every shared insight, even as we mentioned today, the shared insights has been a part of something truly beautiful and amazing. And though this chapter is nearing its completion, the light continues on in new ways because it will not be stopped. You are the light. You are the love. You are the joy, and your voice matters. Keep radiating your inner truth for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you. That's
well
great.
said, Teresa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to pre-recording that this week and sharing it with you all. And it'll be fun to have some of our good friends and our founding friends back with us, Bex and Teresa and I, and Katie Steinley's going to come on, and Jackie Dennison from Very Paranormal Podcast. Hopefully we'll be able to make it on that day, as will Jessica, who was the owner of the Breakthrough Show Network. So
And our mentor.
Yes.
Nice.
And thank you so much for Brahma for being a part of this today, and look forward to seeing you Tuesday night on our Zoom meeting. So I really appreciate everybody, and I'll get this up. If you didn't catch it, it'll be on our podcast later. I will also be rebroadcasting it on Facebook, but it is available on YouTube right now. And some of you may have been watching it. Some of you may have been confused, but we have lots of people that watch later on. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow,
thank you so much. Thank you for bringing through these teachings. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks. And we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Stay on, and I'll be with you in a minute. Yeah.
This is a view